Prime Video's brand new original police drama On Call takes you into the intense world of the police force in Long Beach, California through the eyes of Tracy Harmon and Alex Diaz. And joining me now are stars of the show, Troian and Brandon. Well, you guys, one of the things I really enjoy about this show is that On Call really spotlights a variety of kind of real world issues. You know, we've got domestic abuse, drug addiction, murder, among other things. So, two-part question here. Firstly, how did the show kind of tackle which topics to kind of cover? And then beyond that, how did you as the actor kind of mentally prepare yourself to tap into these real world issues that cops deal with on the daily?
Wow. That's a really excellent question. I feel like our creators really had a wonderful inroad to the city of Long Beach, and they got to spend a lot of time not only with Long Beach police officers, but a lot of members of the Long Beach community, and just kind of hear their stories, hear, things that like you said had actually happened, and kind of what a day is really like for police officers. And then for me personally, I guess preparing was also just being in a place of listening with anybody who was, kind enough to share their real world experiences.
Right, especially because it all happened so quickly. I mean, from the time that we found out that we booked it to the time that we actually filmed,
Oh
it was
God.
about only 2 weeks. So I
Yeah.
think listening was the probably our best plan of action to go forward. Because there was just such, yeah, it's just a lot to take on very quickly. So luckily we had, great tech advisors and stuff that were there to assist us.
Yes.
2 weeks is crazy, but you guys obviously like you served the roles justice, so kudos to you. Now, Troy, specific question for you. My younger sister is a cop. She joined the force about a year and a half ago, and so I have a really strong appreciation watching this show for the strong female representation in a very male-dominated field. What did that
Mhm.
kind of mean to you to take on that role? Because I'm sure there's other people watching that had that same kind of sentiment that I did.
I mean, first of all, that's so cool that your sister is serving. I feel like I felt the thing that I was the most grateful for in this role was that it never felt like we were interested in how Tracy Harmon is a woman. It was more about how she is as a person, how she is as a field training
Mm.
officer, how she is as a partner or a police officer, a member of her community. It was just really wonderful that it was never really about her gender and how that interfaced with the world. It was just about her effectiveness and her empathy and her humanity.
Yeah, no, I think that's really strong. And it was cool too, I think, seeing that because, obviously as a family member of someone who's in the field, we don't get to see what that's like on the daily. And so I realized the show may be a little dramatized, but, nonetheless, it's like we do get kind of that insight that we wouldn't normally see. Now, something else that was really fascinating to me was the way the show was filmed. And what I mean by that was the thing that stood out to me most was how it would pan to your guys' like body cam footage a lot. I'm curious if the shots like that were intentional and kind of what you guys thought about that.
To my understanding, they were. I mean, that was something that Tim and Elliot both expressed in the very beginning that they wanted the audience to feel like almost like a participant in the
Mhm.
show. And I think that through incorporating some body camera and dash cam, I think that it brings people into the scene alongside Tracy Harmon and Alex Diaz.
Absolutely. You can't just be a spectator. I think that, like you said, that was really from the very beginning in the first script. It was very intentional that we were going to be looking at this through dash cam, through body cam, because I think that there is a lot of uh watching that happens with police officers, especially nowadays. You mostly witness a lot of things through other people's cell phone footage, and so to be able to kind of recreate the footage from the point of view of a police officer in that situation, it just really lets our audience into a completely different point of view.
Yeah, I love that. And I loved that kind of little, I don't know, I just thought it was special to kind of see it in that way. It felt very real world to me.
Mhm.
Something else that felt very real world to me was the complexities of the writings of your characters. And what I mean by that is obviously both your characters are cops, but you have these siblings who are facing demons in their own right. And I think I love that because there's a lot of cops out there too, right, who are serving but have loved ones who are on the receiving end of what you're doing and
Mhm.
kind of on the dark side of it, if you will. So I'm curious, what was it like taking that on, and what did it mean to you kind of experience that of, hey, this is within the writing, this is who I am as a cop and as a character, but I also have someone that I really care about, that's maybe on the opposite side of who I am.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Sure. Yeah, yeah. I think what's fascinating about this project is that it's a true character study. Yes, they are police officers serving the community, but we really get to dive into their back lives, into their backstories, and the fact that we get to witness it as they're on the job during these high stakes situations. I think that the truth finally unfolds. I mean, it's really hard to kind of hide who you really are and hide who your family is, and when you're spending like 15, 20 hours a day with this person.
Yeah.
So kudos to Tim and Elliot because they, like, to your point, they created these nuanced characters in such a short time frame. Yeah. What about you, Troy?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think that they really they let you into the intimacy of the car and who these people are to each other. And then you get to see the difference in the dynamics of what we get to reveal to each other, what we let each other in on. And then as soon as we leave the car and we're on a call, like you think that you see police officers entering the scene and you expect them to behave a certain way, but to let you in on like what's going on in their emotional lives, who they're thinking about, that they've just, gotten off the phone with, or, that they're thinking about what's going to happen to them in the next 24 hours. Like, I think it just really brings in the humanity to this job and this service, that you see like these human beings showing up and they're fallible and they've got people that they're worried about, people that they care for. So yeah, it just really made for these incredible characters for us to jump into.
Yeah, the writing was absolutely spectacular. So kudos to the writers. Okay, real quick, you guys, I'm dying to know. The ending was so good. Season 2, any word on it yet?
Do we have? I don't think we. No, I just think it's been wonderful to receive all of this. People have been texting and calling and saying that they really enjoyed it, and it's been so lovely to see our audience's response. And it feels so good. This took 2 years for it to come out from our start,
Right.
because of a number of different things that happen. And so to see how people are enjoying it, to see that they're seeing themselves in it, in these characters, it just really we just feel incredibly lucky. So our fingers are crossed,
Yeah.
but no, we don't have anything official.
All right, I love it. My fingers are crossed as well. You guys, thank you so much for your time on call. Streaming now on Prime Video.